What's up, everybody? I just walked in the door. Literally, I left work maybe like 7 minutes ago. So I'm way late. I haven't even got my guitar out yet. So we'll let people kind of keep their or join, I guess. And we shall figure out where I'm dropping everything. Phone. So how's everybody doing? I see Papa Z's in here, Pete's Little Homestead. I haven't even had a chance to share this around on social media yet. So what was I gonna do? I don't even know. Don't forget to hit your thumbs up when you come in. Oh, I know what I was gonna do. I was gonna share it around on social media. Like I'm supposed to. Actually, I might just do it on the screen. So feel free to say hi when you come in while I share it around. There's the link. Right on Facebook. I think it's gonna be a slow night tonight. Oh, there's the overwork gardener. Yeah, I left totally late from work. But I'm here now. It's live night. I'm always excited about live night. So we got 4 people in, 3 thumbs up. I have to get my guitar out. I was talking to some of my Marco friends while I was driving home from work. And I was telling them I thought about changing my night for the lives because Thursday nights there's live music in downtown Gettysburg. But 2 families in. We've got Thrifty VG, Arkansas Woodcutter. Hello. I'm extra late today. But I was coming home and there's live music on the square. I'm like, all right, it starts at 8. My show's at 8:30, so I could either change my day or just not go to live music. Plus, Donald doesn't get to be on when it's on Thursday nights. I'm going to post it around to a couple more places on social media. Like, I literally pulled in the driveway at like 8:33, so things are way behind. I'm only going to post it in my wall and the small YouTubers group because I don't want to be looking at Facebook while I'm talking to you guys. Got making lemonades from lemons in the house. North Star Prep Center. Hey, Kathy. I just want to post. No, not my story. To the newsfeed. Ugh. That does nothing want to go right. Alright, it's posted. Whatever. Everybody's getting their hellos in. Awesome. I got my laptop back on Monday, which I'm really excited about, which means I can actually edit videos again. And I put a video out yesterday. Well, late last night, I guess. Just about some of the clips I've gathered over the last 3 weeks when I haven't been able to put out a video. And a lot of that's just because the laptop I was using is not as good as my main one. So, and the latest video showed Donald's cool method of creating, I don't know what you would call it, like cattle grass. I don't think that's what it's called. It's called crimping. The method's called crimping, but like the byproduct, I don't know, I would call it cattle grass or something. So it goes over the method of crimping grass in order to mimic the behavior of cattle on your grass. And then it covered, we butchered chicken, so I showed a little bit of scene of that. And then we had an attack on our farm at 1 a.m. last week, and I was live marcoing with my friends, so I took some of the footage from that and put that in there. So let's see. What else? I'm trying to remember what all we put in there. That might have been it, honestly. There was like a little other mini footage. It was just a general homestead vlog, but I finally got a video out, so I'm happy about that. Now, my problem right now is I've got 666 subscribers. So if anybody feels like subscribing, that's not already, feel free. Not that I have any issues with that number. I'm not superstitious, but. Hey, Patty, how are you? I'm a little late today. Mark Smith, I had to change accounts to get the number changed. Oh, Mark Smith, who are you normally? And thank you. So now maybe I don't have 666 subscribers, which would be great. Mark's going to be RB. Got to see some of that, but had to leave. Going to watch it. No problem. And honestly, I don't expect people to have a significant interest in the vlog stuff. I mean, you have to have a vested interest in somebody or their life in order to really want to follow the blogs. And, you know, you can get that from strangers. I mean, obviously Justin Rhodes did a lot of vlogging, and people, you know, they began having a vested interest in him and his family. So I don't expect people to be that interested in the vlogs unless they, you know, want to know more about us and what we do. It's the how-to videos and teaching videos that I think people would be more interested in. So I will have more of those coming out. I'm going to have some recipe videos. One of them is going to be like my Greek meatloaf recipe, sweet potato fries recipe, and then Mama Z, Misty over at Mama Z's Texas Kitchen has a collaboration going on right now for summer snacks. And a lot of people are jumping in on this collab. This is going to be a massive collaboration. So I think I'm going to do deviled eggs and a cheese ball that are all homemade recipes from like aunts and moms and grandmothers and stuff. So 667, thank you, Arkansas woodcutter. He got me out of the devil's snare. Peanut butter on celery, there you go. Or you could do what? Yeah, I don't have a lot that have big views. I think my biggest viewed video, well, one of them was when one of our goats got listeriosis and died. Views, but the Tedder collaboration, which by the way was my first collaboration ever, And massive channels did that collab, which was, I will see you in like 45 minutes, my friend. And I need to marker you more. I don't know why I don't. And your wife. And I should start marcoing the Naked Gardener as well. I'm on Marco a lot, so I just need to start marketing more people. Am I buffering? I shouldn't be buffering. Give me a heart if I'm buffering. I'm trying to think of an easy emoji. Was I? Interesting. I usually never have problems with buffering or internet. That's pretty interesting. But I'm good now. Court, I blame you for buffering. What'd you do? Who here's on TikTok, by the way? Because I'll tell you what, I've been addicted to TikTok lately. Like I had always been on it. I mean, I've been on it for like the last year, but lately, and someone asked me earlier, like, I forget who asked me, but they're like, isn't TikTok for teenagers? I'm like, yeah, there are a lot of teenagers there, and they're still doing, stupid teenager videos. Like, that's what teenagers do. I did stupid stuff. Court, come up here. But there's a lot of businesses on there, and there's a lot of like DIY home decor and just a lot of stuff that's useful for people like us on there. So there's even a couple homesteaders on there, I'm noticing. So I don't know if anybody's on TikTok, but we are going to start posting stuff on TikTok as well. I think I got Mama Z into TikTok too. Yeah, garden designers are on there. Which reminds me, there was one part in my latest video that came out last night. It was a tree identification question. I don't think anybody posted a comment that they knew what the tree was. So if you are familiar with baby tree identification, in my latest video, I do have a question about a tree. I think my plant identification app said it was like a sugar bush. I don't know what that is. But I've been getting a lot of them in my garden. I'm like, where are these things coming from? I don't know. My garden, we're going to do a garden update probably tomorrow because I think Saturday it's supposed to rain. So I'll probably edit it and have it come out tomorrow because we have not done a garden update since last month. Show you guys the chaos that is the weeds in my garden. And I don't entirely mind it. I pick some of them. I'm getting a lot of thistle and a lot of pokeberry though. Those got to go. Especially because I walk around barefoot in my garden a lot. I hate stepping on thistle. It is not pleasant. Did I miss anybody? No, I think I'm good. Another thing I'd like to work on is working on more music, which I have not been doing. Everybody keeps telling me I need to do, and I'm getting to the point where I'm realizing I need to prioritize my time better. If there's goals that I want to reach, like learning new music or getting more money in my business or having a successful channel, then I need to, and working out, losing weight, I really need to set a schedule and stick to it. The problem is a lot of our lives can be chaotic to the point where we don't have control over it. For example, someone called out at Donald's work tonight. Normally he works till 10. So he has to stay till 2 a.m. So he won't get in till 3 a.m. So any hope of us getting up at a reasonable hour or him getting up is gone. So we have to adjust our plans for that. But that's what happens when you're essential personnel. So. Patty, didn't you say that you were on that 𝙒𝘼𝙔𝙎 app? I thought, or that you were going to get on the Smule app. Everybody's pretty quiet. I'm wondering if I'm buffering again. I hope not. If somebody is on my Facebook and I start buffering, feel free to send me a message on there, because I'll see that before I see anything on my computer. Maybe I should keep my messenger open. Too much going on here. Awesome. But Papa Z, if you could message me if I do start like lagging or buffering, I'd appreciate it. Because I have my phone right here, so I'll see notifications pop up from you if I do. Our cabin in the woods. Good evening, my friend. I would love to have a cabin in the woods. I do not currently. I have a little Cape Cod in the rural area of Gettysburg. Do we have any veterans in the chat right now? And 2 days past 18, he was waiting for the bus. His army green sat down in a booth in a cafe there, gave his order to a girl with a bow in her hair. He's a little shy, so she gives him a smile. He said, "Would you mind sitting down for a while and talking to me?" Excuse you. Lay down. Feeling a little low. Court, come up here and lay down. Come on and say hi to everybody. Come on. Come say hi. Quit barking. I was trying to sing a song and you wouldn't let me. Oh, you are not light. Court did not like that song, apparently. Yes, making lemonades from lemons is one of my favorite veterans, along with my husband and with Nathan over at Sampson Farms and Chris over at Yellow Rose Homestead. Oh, you just sure snorkeling. Yes, puppy. Mr. Snorkeling. Always in the way, right? He's either wanting to snuggle, wanting to bark, or vomiting on us. Right? He's just a big ball of bluff. So there's that. So let me think. What have we been doing since last week? Not a whole lot. We did have the 1 a.m. raid. I think it was actually Thursday night that it happened. We were about to go to bed. It was like 1 a.m. and Donald's in the bathroom upstairs, and the window's always open in there. You can see me. And he heard a chicken screaming bloody murder. So he ran down to see what it was. And I grabbed the gun and we went down, or I made it down as best I could without an actual flashlight. And there was a raccoon in the cage. It had attacked and killed a rooster and attacked a hen, tore the back of her head off, kind of. And so there was just like the skull and then part of her neck. And then it killed one peep. And then there were 2 that I found scattered, and then 1 we didn't find at all until the next day. But it was alive. So we got 3 of the 4 peeps survived. And so we put them in a brooder, and the mama's still doing well. I don't know if you guys watched the video. I'm going to post an update video on her as well, because I know J Love was asking, like, why didn't you post what happened to the hen? And I was like, well, I didn't have footage of that yet, so I got to get video of her. I mean, it looked like he was just like ripping her neck out when we went down there. And we shot at it, but I mean, we have a headlamp. It's 1 a.m., so I don't think we hit it. Now, the next day, we put out a live trap and we caught it and shot it. And then last night, we put out another live trap and caught another one and shot it. So we know there was at least 2. I'm thinking Dad probably reset it again tonight, so we'll see if we get another one tomorrow. But I think since we've moved in here, we've had this makes number 30 raccoons going after, just the ones going after our animals. So I know one time, I don't remember if it was the fox. We've only had one fox issue. Yes, we did. We had one fox issue. It's mostly been raccoons, but 1 week, it was within a 2-week span, we had 27 of our animals get killed in 2 weeks. I think it was mostly raccoons. 27 of them gone in 2 weeks. So that's when we were like, all right, well, a lot of people are like, well, why don't you catch and release? I'm like, I could catch and release somewhere, but then I'm giving that problem to somebody else, some other farmer, and it doesn't control the population, because clearly 30 in these woods back here, it's a big deal. So there has to be some sort of regulation on the amount. You know, I've never eaten raccoon Arkansas woodcutter. I don't know that I want to. Not that I'm opposed to wild game, obviously, but I don't know. I just hate raccoons so much. Now, I wouldn't mind feeding them to my chickens as kind of like a payback, but you have a possum problem, or cabin in the woods. I have not had much of a problem with those. I think I've seen 2 possums in the 12 years I've lived here. I've never had one attack a chicken. And I do think one got some duck eggs once. Do they eat chickens? Possums? I'm not sure. Cook them and feed them to the dogs. I bet Court would love that, wouldn't you? I think he would. That's a good idea. Little raw diet. Everett Gardner said, we kept getting coyotes coming in and one killed our goats. Then we got a Great Pyrenees, and I haven't seen a coyote anywhere on the property once he got a little bigger than a puppy. So that's been my biggest concern. I know we have coyotes around here because the neighbor behind me has trail cams, and we've got bears too. I'm not as worried about the bears as I am the coyotes, but he's gotten coyotes on his trail cams, and they haven't gone after our goats yet, but the only thing between them and our goats is an electric fence. Like, we don't have a closed barn. So I should get a dog. I really should get an outdoor dog. Cord is not an outdoor dog. Cord is a wuss. Now, I say that he's very vicious to anybody that tries to get in the house when we're not here. In fact, we've had issues where, like, a tax guy will come by or something and come up to the deck on our property. And my neighbor did that once, came up on the deck without us being home, and they got bit. So, but I have friends over all the time, and they bring their kids in the house. And as long as they're in the house and he knows that they were invited in, like when we have our friends over, it's totally fine. Loves everybody. Will sit in your lap and lick your face all day. But don't try to break in my house because he will go after you. Tinker's wife says, a possum here are helpers for me. No chickens, though. Anything that eats slugs and other bugs is good in my book, right? Especially ducks. Of course, ducks will eat my garden. J-Love's here. Yay. You have a black bear around here now. We do, too. And she has cubs, so I'm a little concerned. Like, I won't go walking in the woods right now. And we have a neighbor behind us that has like 3 kids that are always walking in the woods. And I think since the baby bear showed up on their porch last month, that they're no longer allowing their kids to run around until that's figured out. Tinker's wife, we have coyotes here in your neighborhood. Family of around 5 or 7 now. Yeah, we have, I forget how many. I've seen like 2 that we've seen around. But I'm not sure what else to do for the goats for protection. That's my biggest concern. Except get a dog. So Now, I'm on the board member for the local SPCA, and I do think they have a 1-year-old. What was that dog? The white dog you were talking about? I'm having a brain fart. Great Pyrenees. I see it now. But it's 1 year old, so I'd have to see how it does with chickens. Like, I think you have to raise them as a puppy, right, for that to work. So, but I would like to get one. Plus, it's a doggo. Ducks can compact soil in gardens. Yeah, that's the only issue. Now, if you do what we do and have the crimped grass rather than open soil, I think that would help with the ducks compacting the grass. But I think you're still going to get some compaction either way. So we don't currently have any ducks. We had a duck named Dean, but he got by something, probably a stupid raccoon. And then Sam died, which we did the video. Well, I mentioned it on the live 2 weeks ago that Sam had died. Court sees something outside. He's a pretty good watchdog, I will say. Sam just stopped eating. I don't know why. He just stopped eating, so he died, which is unfortunate. Gail's Garden Herbs and More, hello. And then we got Sean in Alaska, just dropped in. Hi, Sean. I'm glad you stopped by. I've missed having you around. It's 9 o'clock, though, so if you have to go, I understand. Court. I guess it's better that he's barking out there at something rather than in here at me. Maybe I can sing a song without him interrupting me now. Maybe. I don't really know what I want to sing, but Susan, gosh, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you, my friend? How are you enjoying those books? Everett Gardner says, my Great Pyrenees kills everything except for my goats and female dogs. Don't ever get near my daughters if he doesn't trust you. I mean, it's good to have protective animals like that. Like Kurt, obviously, I don't know what he's protecting me from right now. He protects me from the UPS guy the most. I don't know what I would do without him. Hey. No, he's jumped on Dad's bed. Sean says it's 5 p.m. in Alaska. Well, I know that, but I mean, right now is when the broussards are usually on. Court, leave Grandpa alone. Won't you go lay down? $5 p.m. in Alaska. You know, I would love to go to Alaska. I've always wanted to see it in the summertime when you have the daylight 1 p.m. Don't forget to hit your thumbs up. So what else has been going on? What are our plans this weekend? So we still haven't planted all of our potatoes. We did plant our sweet potatoes finally, although I drove by them this morning and they didn't look like they were doing that great, so I'm going to check on them tomorrow. The rest of our potatoes, and I got to plant the corn. So that might be a goal for tomorrow. We'll see how much time we got. We always have D&D every other Friday, and that happens to be this Friday. So, Court. I hope you guys don't mind barking. If you like them, you have gotten some great ideas. The books, yeah. It was a really good collaboration that Stringfield Farm did. Sherry sent me something. I think from Two Family. I just got some kind of notification. Let's see. Wanting jewelry we could put on. Ooh, yes. Jewelry would be great. So I don't know if you guys saw last week, but Two Family Hempstead is now printing swag. So if you want coffee mugs for your homestead, they're going to make me a coffee mug. I might see if I can set up a system that allows people to order Copper Kettle Farm mugs from them. I'll have to talk to you about that, Sherry and Daryl. We do have a shop. I don't know if somebody can post a link to our Teespring. We do have a couple designs of t-shirts. One of them I thought was really cool. I swear. Because we're really big into microbes on our homestead, because Donald does wastewater, so microbes are a big part of that as well, breaking down waste. And I designed a t-shirt that says farming starts with microbes, and it has pictures of microbes on it. That's a Copper Kettle Farm t-shirt. And then there's one that's like what happens on the farm ends up on YouTube. That's another t-shirt design with Copper Kettle's logo on it. So I have a couple of designs, but I got to work on some more. Shayla says she's doing her second planting of potatoes soon. Awesome. I'm still doing my first. I guess technically this would be considered a second because it's like a month late. But both are good ones. Thank you. The chicken tunnel that weaves around the garden as well. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Just, it's a lot of work. I haven't had volunteer potatoes, Gail's garden. I have a lot of volunteer tomatoes though, which is weird. I don't know where they come from, but I've got a couple now. Our okra is doing good. When I showed the updated garden video, you'll see all the changes and things. The melons are doing okay. Squashes are doing really good. I've got lots more squashes I want to plant. I might do that in the next week or so. I have a second round of tomatoes that were planted last week. And there's a lot of weeding to do. Is it just me, or is weeding like always get away from everybody every year? Because I guarantee you it always gets away from me every year. Court, chill, bruh. Go outside, Bart. You found some volunteer tomatoes today. Awesome. Simply Southern Roots. Welcome. We're just hanging out, homesteaders, having a good time online, socializing during the villainous. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about the villainous, but I did want to ask. I had made a post on Facebook asking what people had seen the shortage of the most as far as supplies, like toilet paper, flour, things like that. And there was a lot of consistent answers. And I mostly did the post because I don't know if anybody else feels the same as me. See you, Patty. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. But that we're going to have another round of shortages and maybe another round of infections. So I wanted to compile this list of what people saw shortages of the most and go ahead and slowly start stocking up on extra of that now. So when I go grocery shopping every 2 weeks, instead of buying one package of toilet paper, buying two. Every time I go shopping, buy a bag of flour, even though I don't need it. And I always buy 2 bags of rice when I go right now, just a little bit extra. So it's not going to like affect other people that need the supplies, but just preparing in excess over a slower period of time for a second round of issues. Is anybody else thinking that as well? Organic oatmeal hard to find. I can see that. I think the biggest thing we had issue finding was toilet paper, which honestly, a week before the shutdown, like March 9th, I had already gotten extra toilet paper, and we still have not gone through the extra that I bought. So I think we're pretty good there. And I am starting to buy, like we're going grocery shopping tomorrow. I'm going to buy another pack, even though I don't need it. But just one pack. Like I'm not trying to take everything. Someone else said, of course, hand sanitizer. I think everybody's still seeing a shortage of that. Court! Disinfectant wipes. Court, I swear to whatever power gives dogs the cuteness, Making lemonade from lemons says we are seeing cleaning supply shortages and some shortages on canned foods. Yeah, I think canned foods. We did start stocking up a little bit on that, like soups and stuff. We went to the Dollar General the other day, and they have canning jars. So I grabbed a box of those and a couple cans of food and a bag of flour, and I'll pretty much do that once a week or so for a while until I feel like we're sufficient. But I do want to make my own hand sanitizer, so I may check that out. I do think that alcohol was another thing I saw a shortage of, like drinking alcohol. Yeast was another big thing, so I think every time we go to the store now, we're going to grab yeast. I still have yeast left over from March, like several packets, so I'm not worried about that necessarily, but I might start grabbing shelf-stable milk and powdered milk as well. Just to have, not a whole lot, just maybe one box every time I go shopping for the next couple months, and then figure out how to store it all. And that way it's not causing any issues with supplies for other people, but, you know, I'm being... What's pretty cool about Donald and I is I'm the worrier, and he's more... He does not worry about anything. He's just more like the action person. So if I start worrying about something, he tries to find a solution for it, which can be conflicting at times, because sometimes, ladies, agree with me if this happens to you too, you just want to vent about issues, like, God damn this and that, blah, blah. And then the guy's like, well, I want to fix it. And you're like, no, I don't want you to fix it. I just want to vent. So I'm glad that before the villainous hit, I was more... I'm worried about what's going to happen. Let me buy a couple extra things. And he didn't worry about it at all. So that's, I think, what kept us in pretty good shape during all of that. So right now I'm already pre-worrying. So we're stocking up on a couple extra things. Hey, here's my homestead. J-Love says, I've been stocking up on canned food and flour and yeast. I need to find some powdered milk here. Yeah, I've also gotten some condensed milk. Because I think you can take condensed milk and do a 1-to-1 ratio with water and make like a decent milk substitute. I remember doing that back in the day for some reason. So I'll stock up on some condensed milk, some powdered milk. I don't normally stock up on things like potato flakes, but I think I will. Because I saw some at the Dollar General the other day, and I'm like, I never thought about potato flakes. But I know I'm going to have a lot of fresh potatoes, but just in case, stock up on some crappy box potatoes too. As I says, we've been working on installing chain link fence. Got to be ready in time for Saturday. Yes. Although I don't know how to install a chain link fence. Making lemonade from lemons, and J-Love both agree their husbands are the same way, where we're the worriers and they're the action. So I think that's part of, like, if you think about the decades and centuries of women's roles, not saying that, it's comparison to modern society roles, but we are typically the keepers of the home. And even if you're looking in old ancient, like Indo-European style lore, like let's say Vikings or something, like the women were the healers and the medicine women and the caretakers and the magicians and the magic users and whatever other stuff you want to talk about, but it's just a role that we're good at. So obviously I'm not saying we need to go in the kitchen and make a sandwich, but we're just really good at that caretaker mentality. So J-Lo says, I have potato flakes coming out of my ears. Making lemonade. I have been ordering from Azure Standard because they have powdered coconut milk since I'm lactose intolerant. Ooh, powdered coconut milk. That seems awesome. And I don't know Azure Standard, so I might have to check that out. As I says, Tim Roberts from Ridge Lake is stopping by our homestead. That's cool, because I've noticed he's been stopping by a lot of homesteads. I didn't know he was doing this tour until I was like, wait a minute. He was just at this place, and now he's at this place. So that's really cool. Are you guys going to do like a live, or I assume you'll do some filming, since that's what we're here for. We're all in the film stuff. Court. Chill out, bro. I'm about to bring out the mom voice, and I really don't want to do that on my live. And quit looking in the trash can. You sure he'll do a live? Yeah, he probably will. He's been doing a lot of them lately. He's doing so good at marketing his channel. I think it's awesome. I know a lot of people have issues with people who market too hard, but you know, I'm in the marketing industry. I've had people accuse me of being, calling me fake, because you know, I talk to everybody. Like going to lives like this and talking to people, they call that ladder climbing. Like people that don't like it, they think you're using other people's fame or follow count to build up your own. And I'm like, no, it's called networking. It's exactly what it is. You go to an event like a live, you talk to the other people, and you make connections. That's exactly what networking is. I mean, we're doing this as a business in a way to socialize and network. So, okay, but you like licking the trash can? 800 subs, congrats. I am way behind. Well, one, not having a laptop for 3 weeks will do that to you. But I also don't think my content's very interesting. So I'm not sure how to fix that necessarily. I don't know how to make my content more interesting. I'll try, but naturally, and see, there's my girl D. So I need to figure out a way to make my content more interesting. Is there anything that you guys would recommend? Like Donald is in wastewater, so he's very big in soil building and waste management and microbes. So we're definitely wanting to go in that direction. We want to be known as the people that know about microbes and soil building. Like that's his passion, and by marriage is my passion as well. For me, I'm trying to think, I have a passion for herbs. Naturally NC and Davis Family Farm and I are all planning to take an herbal course together. We have a Marco, we have a Pinterest board where we discuss learning herbal remedies. So I would love to be a source for herbal knowledge. In real life, like in my job, I'm a marketer, but I don't see me using my channel to teach marketing so much as like Two Family. I go over there. I did their Tuesday Tech this week, and I taught people how to make their own logo on Canva. So if you missed that, that's a good live to go back and check, because I spent like an hour and a half teaching people how to do this. And we made a sample logo, and I showed people new features in Canva. So, you know, consider checking that out. But I don't know that I want to put marketing on my channel. So I'm trying to think, well, how can I make my channel more useful? If you can go to a physical herb class, it's awesome, and you really learn a lot. I've done online too, which is good. It's Gail's Garden Herbs and More suggestion. It's probably a good idea. I don't know that they're going to have any for a while this year, so I may have to just suck up the online ones for now, but I would love to do some in-person ones. Tim is going to be on the Broussards. That's awesome. I love the Broussards. I would love to learn more about herbs. Yeah, there's Mama Z. Did I miss you coming in earlier? Oh, there you are. You did come in earlier. I don't know what else. If I was trying to think of ways to incorporate my passions into my channel, there's things like organization. I certainly could. As homesteaders, I think organization is important for us. As YouTube homesteaders, I mean, marketing is important, but I'm still debating. That's been a debate for a while for me. Do I start talking about marketing on my channel? I have a channel for my business where I could talk about marketing. So do I want to split my time? I don't know. And if you're friends with me on Facebook, you see my marketing stuff all the time. I do like cooking. I do put some herbal or cooking recipes on my channel. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of my niche. I think the soil building is probably going to be our channel niche, but I would like to have something that's part of my personality as well. Let's see, what else are we doing this weekend? So Donald and I are actually going to be starting some other projects here soon. I can't talk about all of them. Some of them are a little sensitive. Others, it's more I'm going to be starting up a blog. I've already got the domain for it. I've actually had it for like 2 years, but I'm going to finally do it. It's going to be a blog about creating a passive income and trying all the different methods that are out there and popular, whether it's on TikTok or YouTube or whatever. This is what we tried. This is how well it worked. This is what didn't work. And blog about it, document it, create videos about it. And so we're going to test some passive income stuff over the next couple months. You're going to see a lot of weird stuff coming from us that is not normally part of our niche. But if that's something you guys would be interested in, I could certainly share the link here once I get the site up. There's also a cool homesteading project that is coming up soon. I got to get with Teresa from Stringfield, Robin from Big Bear, and Sherry from Two Family to see if they're still interested, because they were all interested when we first started talking about it, but that was several months ago. So if they are, then I think Naturally NC is the only one I've actually told about this. We're going to be starting a cool new project collaboration together. I just don't want to announce it yet until we get the website up for it. So that's coming up soon. Make sure you use playlists to separate all the different content. Yes, I do. I put everything in playlists now. But yes, I will definitely put in like soil building and stuff. I think a lot of our issue as well is when we do the homestead vlogs, like the one that came out yesterday, it's a mix of different content. And maybe I need to stop doing that and have, like, yesterday's video had a section that talked about grass crimping, which is a really big, important method to building soil. And Donald talked about it and explained it. And then we went in to talk about the 1 a.m. attack on our farm. And then we talked about chicken butchering. But so it was just like categorized as a vlog, but it was an educational video if you're big into soil building. And so now I need to figure out, should I separate all that stuff out? What do you guys think? Susan says, I enjoy reading and studying about herbs and home remedies. Me too. I really do. Let's see. I'm going to play a little music while I see if there's any more questions. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. Oh, I did hear from Mama Z that they are starting to shut down Texas again. So I think one of the things I want to do with this passive income thing, and it's going to affect the farm a little bit as well, is I pay for an office space downtown in Gettysburg, and it's not expensive. It's not a big space, but I kind of want to get a she shed in the yard and then move my office there and pay myself rent, like pay the farm rent with my business account. So the money's going to me and I can invest that back in the farm. But that's going to be something that I may have to wait until we have some extra passive income money from the other blog that I'm starting to pay for the shed, because I want it to be, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to get the shed I want. And I want to put a closet in it that is soundproof, because I want to be able to do my podcast recording, my music recording. I need electricity. I need it to be insulated. So that I'm hoping is a goal sometime this year, which wasn't originally on my bucket list or my wish list for this year, but I think that's going to be important. And then I will be pretty much at home all the time. And I can be here if Dad needs me or something. Let's see. Making lemonades. A separate video on the soil stuff would be great so people could just reference it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I might have to start separating stuff out. So I'll talk with Donald about how we're going to organize those. Gail's Garden says, strange, the heat should kill this virus. It should have been gone by now. Yeah, but that, like, when I heard that it's supposed to, but then you get to the point and it's like, what does that mean? Like, is it heat when it's in the body, because the body is naturally about 98.6 degrees? Is it just heat out in the air? Like, what does it mean necessarily when they say that? I don't know. Mama Z said, no, it's getting bad in Texas. Ohio's doing okay. Pennsylvania's doing pretty decent, but I will say that a lot of people are very angry at our governor for the way that they apparently handled things. I don't think he did as bad a job as everybody's saying. The only thing I do agree with when they complain about the way that Governor Wolf here in Pennsylvania is handling it is they put a lockdown on the retirement communities, and a lot of old people got sick and died. So I'm not sure that that was necessarily the best idea, but I don't know what the alternative idea would have been. So there's that. But Maryland apparently handles it really well. I think it's mostly like Florida and Texas that are having the biggest issue. I found that videos get more views if it's about one certain thing. Okay, that's a good idea or a good suggestion. So I think I will start splitting out our specific topic videos then. Yeah, that's the issue. Like for that wide family farm I mentioned, like if I was, and I've thought about running for politics. I don't know if I'm going to. Donald said I should watch The West Wing to prepare myself to decide if I really want to. And I've been watching it. I'm like, ugh, I don't know if I want to do all this. It's a lot of meetings and like thinking and stuff. So I don't know. But I don't know what I would do if I was in a political leadership position with everything going on. I can't say that I would know all the answers, and I don't think anybody should expect their leaders to know all the answers. I mean, every decision they make is going to piss somebody off. That's anybody in leadership, in any organization, in any job position. So some governors made the senior citizens' homes accept virus patients, then it spread and killed many. I think that's probably what happened in our state too. I feel so bad for our local businesses, honestly. I feel like we're going to have another round that's even worse. So I'm like, Misfit does okay right now. That's my main business, web and marketing business. People still market. Donald's essential personnel, so he still works. If I can do this passive income stuff, I think that'll help. I don't know what else I would do aside from my business, besides trying out these passive income things. I actually cut my hair the other day, or last night actually. It's a little shorter than it was. I cut like that much off, honestly. But I do my own cutting because it's all one length, so it's not like I don't have to do anything special for it. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're starting to stock up on just some of the basics. That's the reason I made that post on Facebook about what did you see was in shortage the most. So I'm like, all right, this is what people I know had issues finding. I'm gonna go ahead and stock up on that stuff now. Slowly. Like I don't want to be the panic buyer, but if I'm shopping every 2 weeks and I get 2 bags of toilet paper instead of one, then or 2 bags of flour instead of one or whatever, then I'll do that. Mama Z says, you know how I told you I had someone at church Sunday? Well, we just found out there was someone else, and Papa Z and Kendra sat on the same pew as they did. Oh, jeez. Yeah, Mama Z had to go get a COVID test today. I guess I shouldn't say that. That's kind of, well, I'm not HIPAA violation, but I'm sure we probably would have talked about it anyway. She's clear, but they had a COVID scare, and apparently now they have another one. So there's that. Yeah, that's the other thing. Hardware stuff has been hard to find. Chickens were hard to find. We got ours. Like, we're good for chicken. Although I want to start doing, Donald and I decided after we saw the chicken shortage this year, which to me boggled my mind that now all of a sudden people want these chickens, or it could just be people overbuying for themselves that already had chickens. But we usually do the Freedom Rangers, Red Rangers for meat chickens, and we just butchered them like 2 weeks ago. What was left, what didn't get ate, quart, no, enough. But it's not sustainable. I happen to go out and buy these Red Ranger and Freedom Ranger chickens. So we're researching breeds that make pretty good dual purpose breeds for meat chickens, and we want to start breeding our own. I think he's pretty much decided on the 𝙎𝙗𝙔𝙎 for this because they're good layers as well. So I think that's going to be an experiment this year, is we are going to try to breed specific dual purpose breeds for our own meat chickens. Obviously they won't be as big. I don't expect them to be. I've been around chickens my whole life. So, but I think for sustainability, that's something that we're interested in doing. Gail says, I'm drinking chamomile and pineapple sage tea. Ooh, that sounds really good. Yeah, we have about 50 or 60 layers right now. We just butchered 13 meat chickens. We originally had 23, by the way. That's how many got stolen. And we still had some left over when we butchered in August, though. But I think we're going to go and try to get 𝙎𝙗𝙔𝙎 to do a dual purpose breed. And then going back to the hardware thing, hardware cloth, I'm thinking whenever we find hardware cloth or wire that's available, we're just going to grab like a roll or two just to keep at the house, because people were buying up the hardware cloth, they were buying up chicken supplies, they're buying up chickens. Now, someone did say that they saw on like eBay or Craigslist, people are starting to get rid of chickens. I'm assuming they were panic buyers maybe, and didn't realize that how long it takes before they're one, either meat ready or two, egg ready, like 6 to 8 months. So I might start checking out Craigslist and eBay or something local, Facebook Marketplace. See if people have chickens for sale. I might just pick up a couple more. So I may start stockpiling like basic supplies too. Nails, screws, the hardware cloth, wire. I'm trying to think what else. I think another thing we want to start thinking about is pet feed. I haven't figured out a solution for that yet. So if any of you have an idea on solutions for goat feed and like, I mean, what do you do for goat minerals and baking soda? You know, I can't make that stuff. Stockpile it. Baking soda is cheap. Chicken feed, I can't grow that. We only have 1.25 acres. Let's see, you just bought 10 barred rocks. Buy an extra of cold medicine. That's a good idea too. Maybe we should create like a homesteader's list of supplies that we need to start catching up on or stockpiling on. This time next year, all the pressure cookers and stuff will be for sale all over. Yeah, I lucked out. Yellow Rose Homestead got me a pressure cooker for my 40th birthday, so I have one now. But I had a hard time finding jars until recently. So I did stockpile on lids that I found at TSC, and then I got jars that I found at the Dollar General. I'm still going to go to the Dollar General and get more jars, and I'll probably grab some more lids too, but you couldn't find canning supplies for a while. So jars is another good thing to stock up on. Yeah, we have lots of chickens, and we do let them forage occasionally. We were feeding them scraps from restaurants, and we still want to do that, but none of the restaurants are really, I mean, there's a lot that are still doing carryout, so we probably could, but seeing if they allow us to pick up their scraps. Get up here and lay down. I'm tired of your mouth. Come on, right now. Lay down. Wait, will it sit on me? Like, do you not see me on the camera here? Okay. So, yeah, I actually grew some horehound this year. So I'm going to, I have it growing on the deck right now. I do want to transplant it, and it does really well here. My oregano is about to go to seed. I got to cut that back and start drying my oregano. My basil is doing okay, but not that great. Only 444 jars. Yeah, I'm lucky if I have 100. I'm lucky if I have 50. I have some in the basement apparently though, so I might have 50. I do need to get more jars. What else? Oh, not that this is like hardcore prepper stuff, I guess, but I really want to start getting a couple things that are non-electric, like a mixer or a food chopper. So just to have on hand. So those are things I'll probably look at as well. But a lot of the homestead stuff just went bonkers getting bought up. So Sunny's Place, yay! Thank you for being here, Thrifty VG. I appreciate it. We're talking about stocking up on supplies in case there's another round of the villainous Sunny's Place, by the way. That's one of the reasons I made that post. I think it was a couple of days ago, asking people what they found was the biggest shortage during this whole pandemic. Because I feel like there's going to be another round of issues. And every time we go grocery shopping, I buy a little extra of those couple things. Like we're going grocery shopping tomorrow and I don't need toilet paper, but I'm just going to buy a pack. Just one. Like I'm not going to panic buy anything, but I think every week we're going to continue to buy those things that we know we're short, even if we don't need it. Just like a slow stocking process. So yeah, I bought a lot of honey too when all of this was going. What are you doing, weirdo? We bought a lot of honey. We bought a lot of rice, flour, sugar. What else did I buy? Toilet paper. Like gradually. So that's the kind of stuff I'm gonna keep buying up. Yeast. J-Love. I already have my fresh garlic and some raw honey. You know what? I have a question for you guys. So I put some garlic and raw honey in March, I think. But I've been told there is an issue with potential botulism in this method. And I'm not sure what causes that. Like I rotated a lot in the beginning, but I haven't rotated it in a while. So, and you know how the garlic floats to the top a lot. So now I'm like, well, maybe it's not good. And it could have the botulism bacteria. Does anybody know anything about that? I've heard this and I want to verify it before I even bother trying to eat it. $59 a gallon. Wow. We do have a local source we've been getting honey from. We're trying to build up Donald's immunity to the local pollen. So yeah, Cord's cute, but he's a loudmouth, I swear. He's really cuddly though. I like having a cuddly dog. You can ask where Matt's on here somewhere. Matt's a in real life friend of mine that I hang out with here in Gettysburg, and Court just loves people as long as they're not trying to break in the house. Infusion. I mean, I guess it's like an infusion where I just soaked garlic in honey for several weeks to a couple months, and now I'm like, well, I read somewhere that people have had issues with garlic. Oh, I'm about over my time. Causing or having botulism issues. So now I'm like afraid to eat it, if that makes sense. So I didn't even play a song today, guys. We just started getting on this roll of prepping. Oh, well, I didn't do that for 6 weeks. I did it for, I mean, it's like 10 weeks now. So maybe I can't use that. Yes, that's the thing. I'm not sure. So I'm a little afraid to eat it. I don't want to throw it out, but I might have to and start over. But that's the thing. I mean, even if you turn it over every day, the honey still or the garlic still continues to float. So I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. I wouldn't even know how to test for botulism. It stops the fermentation process, but would it kill botulism? I guess is my question. And Gail, when you eat yours, has it been sitting in a jar for 8 months in the honey, or not 8 months, for months? Because now I'm wondering. Might need to stock up on more flour and honey if things go south again. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Definitely honey, definitely flour. I bought flour this week. I didn't need it. But I'm also going to start buying some food grade buckets to store some of the flour under our kitchen table. Because I don't have room to just keep it laying around. So we're going to do some small scale prepping. I would like to get into major scale prepping, but it's all about what you have the money to do. Sitting in the same jar in the honey. So maybe I'll bug you, Gail, at some point. Are you on Facebook at all? Maybe I'll talk to you about it some more with this garlic honey stuff. Because I really am worried about the garlic. Yeah. And another thing, that A Farmer's Kind of Life. I love Amy. If you do not follow her, she's one of my favorite channels. Her personality is phenomenal. She said in where she's from, Minnesota, that they had a flour shortage, but what she did is they have a flour mill locally, and she was able to get it directly from the source, like a 50-pound bag of flour. And I'm like, well, why didn't I think of that? Because there's one over in York that's a flour mill. So I haven't called them or tried it yet, but I could call them and say, hey, I'd like to buy a 50-pound bag of flour. Why not? You can only kill botulism at or above 240 degrees. You could heat it higher than that, but it also kills the good bacteria. Oh, yeah, that's the issue. Yours have ginger and hot pepper as well. So that might be why, because I think ginger is probably a good way to not get the botulism. I don't know. I have to think about it. Yeah, a 50-gallon drum of flour would be awesome. I've got drums too, which is funny. So Katie MT is the guy I'm talking about. He knows how cuddly Court is. Yeah, maybe we'll continue this discussion next week then. I'll create the list of the things that people have been saying to me when I asked the question about what they felt like they needed to stock up on, and maybe we'll continue talking about it next week during the live and seeing if I can't just create a nice little homestead cheat sheet about here's some things to stock up on in case things go crazy again. If you guys think that would be useful, I might do that. Ginger and hot pepper too. That's a good idea. I know I should have thought of that. Do I regret being married? That's a weird question. No. Maybe in my first message, but no. Thank you, J-Love and Wild, because that was a weird question. Do I regret being... Who regrets being married? Like, it's a decision you made. You know, marriages end, but you don't regret it when you make it. So anyway, I am going to wrap things up because we are over our hour, and I'm going to go hang out with the Broussards. Do you regret being married, right? And do a Copper Kettle raid on their live tonight. So if you want to come back next week, we'll continue the discussion about some prepping supplies, and we'll continue it then and see what people come up with. So let me know if you think of any ideas between now and then as well about stuff to stock up on and stuff. So I'll see you guys there. You guys take care. Thank you for stopping by. Let me hit my end stream. I will see you. Don't forget your thumbs up before you leave too. And whoops. I will see you here, same bat channel and bat time, 8:30 Eastern. And I'm going to let this dog out because she's making me mad.